If you've ever told yourself, I know what to do, but I just don't do it, or I feel bad, but I don't know why, this video is going to punch you in the brain because you tried to approach the problem from the wrong angle. So listen up. By the end of this video, you're going to know what submodalities are and how to use them to your advantage. Let me tell you a little moment that I will never forget. I had this girlfriend that I really wanted to make things work with. And I was trying everything. I was trying to do everything I could. I was listening, I was trying to understand everything, and it seemed like things were repeating over and over again. And there was this moment when she visited me and my family, and when she got off the plane, she already had a little bit of an attitude, like something that wasn't very pleasant about her. So she basically gave me a hug instead of giving me a kiss, and I didn't understand what was going on. It felt like things were made more complicated than they actually had to be. And throughout the 3 days while she was with us, things unfolded and she really didn't feel good. Everybody was welcoming, and well, I picked up on her mood and how she was behaving, how it was a little bit out of the ordinary, or let's say out of the pleasant. And on the first evening, she was crying. And second day as well, her face was tense. She couldn't express herself. And when she went back after a couple of days, it was after 3 days, finally things started coming out. And it came out that she had a thought on the plane when she was traveling to us. And that affected the whole 3 days when she was with us. And I didn't understand at the time, how can that be? And after that, I did a lot of research about it. And basically what it ended up being is that she was projecting her insecurities onto situations that had nothing to do with that. And because she didn't want things to happen, she was really afraid that I was gonna leave her. And at that time of my life, I was attracting these sort of energies as well. She's an amazing person, but she was controlled by her emotions. And that is what traps us. When we think of something, it starts an emotional reaction within us. And then we just react to it. We don't know how to stop it. We don't know what to do. And after a while, those thoughts were coming back to her. And exactly what she was afraid of, the worst thing that she was afraid of at that time, happened. We split up. And I would have to tell you honestly, if those reactions wouldn't have been there, we would probably still be together. But it put such a huge burden on the relationship between us, as well as how I was feeling around her. I wasn't perfect. I'm not saying I was perfect. I had my own things as well to work through. The bottom line is that we all have these emotions, these thoughts that come to us that is specific to us according to our experiences that we have, the meaning that we give to these experiences, and they can affect our lives if we let them. As you probably know, I've been studying NLP for quite a while now, and in NLP there are two different polarities. One is the cause and one is the effect. And we say you are at effect if you are reacting to something. Basically, the cause is when actions are originating from you. The effect is the reaction, when you are in reaction to the world, to your thoughts, to your emotions, to the experiences that you had. And that is not a good place to be in, because you are controlled by them. And some people fall into this trap that they try to control life, they feel insecure, they cannot bear that something is happening outside of what they want. And that is because they are in reaction. They think, they have the illusion that they are controlling things, but in reality is controlling them. They would need to only be zooming out a little bit and notice how they are addicted to a part of themselves that they just cannot let go of. So that's what I wanted to talk about, like how we can change this. So I had my own things that I wanted to work through as well, and I noticed that sometimes when I was reacting to things, I wasn't questioning those things. And that even built into my personality after a while. So I accepted those things, how they happened, and I let my original reaction be how I was perceiving that situation. So my first thing, okay, I feel insecure, and because of that, I react to that situation in a way that I am insecure. And that is what was happening all the time. And I felt like I couldn't control my life. I don't know what was going on. I was in constant reaction. That's why I wanted to change. My reactions that came from my childhood, that I took for granted, this is how I react, this is how I could protect myself, this was how I could acquire more pleasure in my childhood. But it wasn't working in the adult life anymore. So I needed to find a more sophisticated way of dealing with these things. That's when I started diving into the internal representations through NLP to find a more sophisticated way of dealing with these things. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. And those two things together, the things that you focus on and the meaning that you give to those things that you focus on, give you the emotions. And the emotions are the quality of your life, really. The quality of your life is the quality of your emotions, and that's what Tony Robbins says. And it's very clever. So we have the 5 senses through which we take the reality in. Smell, taste, touch, hearing, and seeing. And there are 11 million bits of information coming through these senses into our brain every second. But as clever as we are, we can only perceive 126 bits per second instead of 11 million. That's huge, isn't it? So that is basically 0.0001% of all the information that is coming to us every single second. Your brain distorts, generalizes, and deletes information according to your beliefs and values. So what you believe deep inside and what you value, what you want to go towards, what your aims are, that is how you're going to filter those things. But if these two do not match, they can be in conflict. So you're filtering reality in order to be right, really. And that is what causes behavior, in simple terms. So we have the external event, the internal representation, the state that we put ourselves really through our focus and the meaning we give to it. And then there is the behavior. And obviously the behavior drives the results. It's like your brain keeps pulling up the same Netflix episode after you yell at the TV, "Oh, do change something! Ah, next one!" But it's not changing. The following little thing you can do every time there's something comes up and bothers you. And it's called submodalities. Let's do it together. So think of a bad habit. What is a bad habit that you've been repeating that you wanted to get rid of? What is happening? And when you think of that bad habit, what do you see? What do you hear? And what do you feel? And really examine those things. So for example, a bad habit. Let's say I sit down in front of the projector in the evening and I relax. And I could be doing something more effective throughout that time. And I just see the TV, I can see the sofa. I'm literally in the picture. I'm seeing through my eyes. So you can ask yourself, are you seeing through your eyes or are you seeing yourself in the picture? Is it colorful? Is it black or white? Is it far away? Is it close? Is it panoramic? Is it in a frame? How do you see it? And then what are the sounds? Are there some sounds around? For me, there is the TV, the projector, there's a little sound is coming from my right side as well. And are there any sounds where are they coming from? Which direction are they coming from? Are they coming from far away or are they coming from quite close? And then these are the internal representations. And you can go even further. What feelings are there? For example, when I think of it, my feeling is like, there's a little bit of a heavy feeling in my belly. And I can feel it in my shoulders a little bit. This feeling, it's a little bit of a tickly feeling as well. But if I wanted to be changing it, I would know exactly how to change it. So I would think these through, these internal representations. Where am I? Where is it? Where is the picture? Is it panoramic, black or white? Which direction the sound is coming from? Is it far away? Is it close? Is it high pitch? Is it low? Is it constant? Sometimes it breaks off, sometimes it breaks up. So after I have this internal representation of how I take that situation in and what is the blueprint in me, then I have a choice. Most of the time, when you put these things further away from you, instead of having it vivid, having movement in there, having all those sounds in there, the intensity, if you tune it down, if you put that image further away from you, it literally changes how you perceive that situation. If you change, if you focus on the feeling in you, what you have in that situation, understand why you feel that way. Where is the feeling located in your body? And you can actually move that feeling with your imagination. And that is one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself. This is how athletes train, to fine-tune little moments, to change how they act in high-stakes situations, thinking it through, changing the internal representation, and then handling the situation completely differently. So not just the internal representation changes, but the behavior that it leads to as well. So what if your habits weren't fixed traits, but editable files in your mind? So what if your resistance was just a defense mechanism to protect you? What if you would be able to rewire everything in your mind without having to push through and struggle through every situation, and you could actually change the situation before you get into it? You probably know that fear is just an anagram. It means false evidence appearing real. And that couldn't be closer to the truth. Most of the time, we are afraid of things that are fictional, that we have just in our minds. And we approach situations already preparing to fail. And that is what I want to change, because I used to not be able to handle myself, not being able to get into situations and deal with them exactly how I wanted to deal with it. And I was questioning myself, was I stupid or what is going on? The reality was that I was just having limited options to deal with these situations because I didn't take the time to think them through, because I was constantly in a reaction. I was constantly trying to prove that I am worthy. I was going to be able to do that, and I was pushing through it. But I could have handled it much, much better if I had known this before. So if this shifted something in you, leave a comment with a habit that you're ready to rewrite. And in the next video, I will show you how to anchor those new identity into your body. So see you next time.